Hi there, my name is Kovuisaunicorn and welcome to this video that I am very nervous to make. First off, no, the title is not a lie. I don't identify with the term feminist. And before you dislike this video and comment, F you woman hater, please just hear me out. You may end up disagreeing with me and that is completely fine, but please just hear what I have to say before assuming that I hate all women. This channel is not a channel where I talk about political things. Like, I don't like to express my views on stuff like that because I am scared and that's the truth. I'm scared of offending people. I'm scared of feeling like I've done something wrong. I'm scared of upsetting people and making people angry, and I don't always formulate myself properly or express myself in a way that my point gets across the way I want it to, and then people may assume something which is not actually the case, or maybe they just completely disagree with me and they hate me because of it. And some people are quite harsh when criticizing other people's opinions and views, and I don't know, they sometimes shut people down completely for having a view that differs from theirs. So yeah, I don't often share my views basically on stuff like this. But the other day on Instagram I had a sudden burst of bravery. I just felt brave enough to share my opinion on feminism, because a lot of people ask me like, hey Kovi, are you a feminist? And I don't know if you noticed, but I don't use the word feminist to describe my views, and I wanted to explain why. And so that's what I did. And some people completely freaked out, and some people were like, I hate you, I hope you're ashamed of yourself. And although some people seemed to be wanting to chop my head off, some people were actually really nice to me and very polite about it. A lot of people, although they disagreed with me, respected my opinion and respected my view, which is so nice to see that more people live by the rule of, you know, if you want other people to listen to and respect you, then you need to listen to and respect them. You know, like, open-mindedness goes both ways, and you can respect a person although you disagree with their views. But basically what I thought I'd do in this video was to share what I learned from this experience of expressing my views and having people disagree with me and also agree with me. I think it's important to reflect on it. I don't really want to express my opinion on something that I don't know that much about. I feel like I can't really form an opinion on it, but I know that even though I'm not that educated on that topic, I do have an opinion on it based on what I've heard about it, based on maybe the little stuff I do know about it. And you know, if you never express that, then you will never learn. And that's what my teachers have told me my whole life. Like, I go to school to make mistakes and learn from it, and if you're in a relationship and you make a mistake, then you will know that for some other time, and you won't make that mistake, and you will learn from it, and you will expand and grow as a person. Maybe not expand, but I just thought I would kind of use what I wrote on Instagram as kind of like a script. Okay, so I posted this thing that I posted to my story, and I said, guys only want girls with big breasts, butts and tiny waists. These, okay, I'm not gonna do this, but like, quote, guys only want girls with big breasts, butts and tiny waists. They need to accept everyone and find every girl attractive. They're so discriminatory when it comes to body types and objectify females. End quote. Next picture says, quote, but obviously a guy would have to be strong with abs and big biceps, over 6 feet tall, with a super sharp jawline for me to date him. End quote. And then I wrote, do you realise how you sound? It goes both ways. So I just want to say, I'm not saying that every girl is like, oh, I would only date a guy with abs, so who's over like 6 feet tall, but a lot of people don't realise that, you know, there are beauty standards for women that can be really annoying, but there are also beauty standards for men that are also not okay and can make people feel bad about themselves. And if you know, don't be sad about people expecting you to look like a Victoria's Secret model if you expect them to look like a Calvin Klein model. You know, like it genuinely goes both ways. But again, I'm not saying that every guy objectifies girls or every girl objectifies guys. But, you know, I was just trying to make a point about beauty standards and how it does go both ways. So, just to explain that, because some people thought that I was saying that every guy would only date a guy with huge biceps. And then I wrote, people ask if I'm a feminist. Obviously, I'm on for equality. I was raised in a country where it is a given that men and women are equal, pretty much. We had our first female prime minister in 1981. I'm not saying there aren't any differences between men and women in Norway and how they are treated. I'm sure there's stuff I don't know about, but generally I'm under the impression that everything is more or less decent in our society. In my daily life in Norway, I don't really see a lot of sexism. Like, it doesn't seem to be a problem here, but that's my experience. There's no real differences in how I'm treated now as a male than when I presented as female, just to like make a point that I've kind of experienced both. Yeah, obviously there are certain differences in how I'm expected to act because of gender roles, which sucks, but I'm positive that will more or less even out over time. It already has to a huge degree here, at least. Like, for example, now that I identify as male, I am expected to be stronger and, you know, more tough and stuff like that, when like compared to when I presented as female and lived as a female in society, which, if you don't know, I'm female to male transgender. That's probably a kind of important thing to add there if you didn't know. And then I wrote, feminism used to be a really important and powerful thing, making political changes, giving women the right to vote, for example. Nowadays, people are walking around claiming to be feminists, claiming to be wanting equality, when all they do is paint men, all men, as bad guys. A guy can't be nice and order a girl he spots at a pub a drink without people assuming she's a victim and he's a predatory pig that wants to get her drunk and rape her. They want to show that women can be strong and independent by putting men down and trying to rise above them. That's not what feminism is supposedly about. Equality, that is sexism. It's treating someone unfairly just because of the gender and generalising a group of people who identify with that gender. I'm not saying that there aren't real problems with sexism in the world and that stuff like feminism isn't needed still. There are. Females not being allowed to go to school, being beat up by their husbands and them getting away with it, their husbands, not being able to vote, etc. But when male rape victims are ignored, and the female claiming to be raped by a male and everyone believing the female without even getting any evidence for the guy even actually being a rapist, using the fact that they are a poor woman to their advantage, that is not okay. And this does happen. Some people commented like no one does that, but it does happen that women use the fact, not all obviously, but some women like use the fact that they are like a poor woman to their advantage, trying to get a guy in trouble when the guy hasn't even done anything, but everyone believing the girl, as well as, you know, men. I don't even know how to, I don't know the English word for it, but, you know, even if a man and a woman has done the same thing, sometimes the man has to be in prison for longer than the woman just because he's a man. I don't know, stuff like that. And then I wrote, yes, some guys are dicks, but some girls are too. In any group of people, there will also always be people who are not nice. And then a lot of people thought that I meant everyone who calls themselves a feminist when I said that, which is not what I meant. I was just saying that that's how feminism was often presented to me online, and a lot of people who act like that call themselves a feminist, so I associated feminism with that. But obviously most of my friends like call themselves feminists and identify with that term. So obviously I don't think that every feminist hates men. Again, that's what I've seen of it a lot online. Yeah, I wrote that basically. And that's why I don't like to use that word, because I associate it with that and other people associate it with that. And then I wrote, if your opinion differs, please educate me. And then, you know, as I said at the beginning of this video, some people were really harsh. But a lot of people were very kind. and they explained to me that those people who are hating on men, they are not feminists, but they are misandrists, I think it's called. And that's not what real feminism is about. Real feminism is still about equality. And then some people are like, oh, can't believe you're calling those people feminists when they are obviously not. But I don't think you should blame people for thinking that's the same thing, because they are not the one saying that those people are feminists. It's those people who are claiming to be feminists and saying that they represent the feminist community and misusing that title, I suppose. And it is so sad that feminists who genuinely want equality for all, that they are put in this group with those people who actually hate men, and they are seen as like man-hating people because they are, or they call themselves feminists because of people claiming to be feminists and representing the feminist community poorly, and they don't actually have the views and values of real feminists, but that they instead have misandrist values. I don't know, and that's very sad. Today I made a post, I'm just gonna read it to you. So I said, hiya, yesterday I made a bit of a controversial post, so I thought I would do a little follow-up of that today. I think it's important to reflect on things like that. So yeah, then I just said that I very rarely share my opinions and stuff, and that some people were offended, but some people were so polite, explaining things to me, which I'm so thankful for, as all I want to do is to educate myself as much as I can on the topic, and not even explaining it in a condescending way, but trying to understand where I'm coming from, and instead of outright criticizing me for having the opinion that I have, although many people did that as well, told me the reason for the views, making me think, oh, that's a fair point. Now again, I just want to clarify, as I did in the beginning of the post, I want everyone to be equal for obvious reasons. Why the heck would you not want people to be equal? But I still don't call myself a feminist. And if I didn't make it clear yesterday to why, I know lots of people have really bad associations with the term feminism from what we've seen online. This is what I said earlier in this video, but I'm sure you've seen people on Tumblr freaking out over everything, blaming men for everyone and blaming men for everything and basically hating them. I was not trying to say that all feminists were like that, and I'm sorry if I came across that way. Again, I know many feminists still have the views that were present when feminism first started out, for everyone to be equal. Not that women are better than men. I did learn a new word yesterday though, which is misandry, which I don't know how to pronounce. Basically means sexism towards men. And a lot of people kindly explained to me yesterday that I'm confusing misandrists with feminists. And I must admit, I did think those people were feminists, just extreme ones. I don't think it's all that strange that people would think that though. They walk around claiming to be representing the feminism movement, and it's so sad. Feminist movement, and it's so sad that feminists who actually stand for equality will be seen as man-hating people. I already said that, I'm sorry. Now I'm very confused to which values feminists actually have and which they don't have, because of the information that I can find on today's feminism online, which is coming from both people who claim to be following the movement's original values and those calling themselves feminists who are actually misandrists. Also another reason why I don't call myself a feminist is because I disagree with the certain things that seem to be important in feminism today, like BuzzFeed feminism. I don't know if you've ever heard of manspreading, but it's basically when a man spreads his legs, like sits with his legs apart on a bus or on the tube or something like that, and he has to sit like that because if he sat with his legs closed, he would sit on top of his reproductive organs and squeeze them, basically, and that would really hurt. And some people say that that is discriminatory towards women, just because guys don't want to squeeze their balls, so they want to sit like that, because or else it will hurt. As well as people painting with their own period blood to make a point about like period blood being natural and you shouldn't be ashamed of having a period, which I completely agree with. You shouldn't be ashamed, it's a natural thing, but ugh, that is gross. Why is that gross? Because in general, it's gross to paint with blood and liquids from a human body. Also, period blood smells bad. It's not, well, it's considered like one of the cleanest types of blood, but it is human waste. It comes out your body gets rid of it because, you know, your body thought you would have a baby, but then your body, like, no like sperm thing came up and made a baby. This is not sex ed, I'm not explaining this properly, but yeah, no baby, so the body gets rid of it. So it is human waste. And although it's natural, just like peeing and pooping is, I don't think we should paint with it. And also, if guys painted with the semen, which isn't even human waste technically, it's like liquid that is like reproductive liquid or whatever, everyone would think that was so gross if guys painted with the semen. Like, it's just gross. But it's natural, but just don't paint with it. Also, when people glorify obesity, so someone asked me what I think that glorifying obesity means, and I am not one for body shaming. Obviously, I am, you know, I think that everyone should be positive about the body, and beauty standards are stupid, but by glorifying obesity, I mean that people are outright ignoring all of the health risks. Like, this is obese to the point where you're at risk of heart failure, where you're at risk of diabetes and serious health problems, when people outright ignore those problems. And I think that glorifying obesity is just as bad as glorifying being way too skinny, like deadly thin. There's nothing wrong with being a bit overweight or a bit underweight as long as you are healthy, but I don't think it's right to romanticize and glorify health problems, which is also what feminism supposedly is about, which I read online now, as well as like everyone being equal, but it's just stuff like that as well, which I disagree with. I don't think that's right. Some people unfollow me because of yesterday's post, which I said. And I wrote on Instagram today, I don't mean to sound, oh, is this out of focus? Sorry, I don't mean to sound savage, but I don't, also, yeah, I don't want to say I don't care. I care, but not in the way that you would think I do. I'm not sad that you unfollowed me because I want this community online that, you know, that I'm part of, I guess. And that you, if you're watching this and you subscribe to me and stuff like that, are technically part of, or are part of as well. I don't want it to be filled with people who are not willing to listen to someone with a different viewpoint than they have, or someone who thinks that just because you don't identify with the label feminist and you don't believe in everything they believe in, that automatically means that you are a horrible person. And as I said in the beginning of this video, open-mindedness goes both ways, and you can respect someone although you disagree with their views. It's so confusing because it's just, I don't know what to believe, because I see these people saying like, yeah, for equality, and I believe in real feminism, and I believe that everyone's equal, I believe in the values and the views that the early feminist movement had. And then I also see people claiming to be feminists that are like supporting all these things that I think are ridiculous, and being very sexist against men. And people say those are not real feminists, but they claim they are feminists, and they claim that that's just how the feminist movement has, that's what it has become. And I'm just very confused to what, like, what's what. And I still believe that feminism started out as a really good thing, but that's why I choose to distance myself from that word personally. That does not mean that I don't support equal rights, because obviously I do, why wouldn't you? But yeah, that's just it. It's very sad that people connect or associate feminism with those things. And I really hope that people who read my Instagram post yesterday didn't think that I meant that all feminists are man-hating people, and that they now believe that anyone who calls themselves a feminist automatically hates all men. And I don't mean to generalize people or anything like that. Yeah, and if you want to write some stuff about this in the comments, then you can. Feel free to do so. I know I have a lot to learn when it comes to politics, when it comes to stuff like that. And if you're willing to help me learn in a respectful manner, then I really, really appreciate that. And if you want to unsubscribe and you think I'm just being stupid because I'm not a feminist, then unsubscribe. It's fine. Like, it's trust me, it's fine. But yeah, if you did watch this whole video, thank you. I got a comment on my post today that was like, I used to think that everyone who didn't identify with the label or the term feminist like didn't stand for equality and stuff, but you helped me realise why some people choose not to call themselves a feminist even though they do support equality. So, and that comment made me really happy. So yeah, again, thank you for listening. If you have different views than I do, then thank you for listening. And thank you for trying to understand where I'm coming from, and hopefully, you know, we can understand each other a bit more. And again, leave a comment, feel free to do that. I just want us to be able to have a proper conversation, not just yell at each other and think that the other person is inherently wrong, something like that, just because we do disagree with them. It's important to try and understand where the other person is coming from. And then certain things are just stupid. I for example can't understand, or I can't think that points that people make trying to defend racism are valid. Obviously, like, some things are ridiculous, but when it comes to other things, I think we should at least try and listen. If you want me to post more videos like this on my channel, then feel free to let me know. I can't promise anything because I'm I don't know, maybe not a fan of expressing my views. Hope you're all having a good day. Stay safe and eat, drink, and do not hurt yourselves. And remember that you are so much more than you could ever realise. Seriously. Give this video a like if you liked it, or you can give it a thumbs down if you really want to. And subscribe to see on my little face. Yeah, have a good weekend. And thanks for listening. Bye!